A bombshell. Seth Rich investigated by FBI and DOJ lawsuit shows in court filings. But they've been lying to us all this time. It was never investigated, says James Comey. It's an interesting conundrum of information in the Seth Rich murder investigations. Mum's the word, and everything is being blocked at all levels of government. I've been working on the Seth Rich murder for almost 3 years now. We've been told time and time again that the FBI and Department of Justice never investigated the Seth Rich murder. So what changed? One thing that's happened recently is good old Michael Isikoff of Yahoo News, who created a 6-part Conspiracy Land series to slander me in my quest for the truth and in the investigation. However, Isikoff has made claims that not only did U.S. Attorney Deborah Sines investigate Seth Rich, but so did the FBI. Although Isikoff even claims that former Deputy Director of the FBI, Andy McCabe, now a commentator on CNN, even though he had already been taken to task for his lack of candor, looked into the Seth Rich murder only to conclude there's no there whether McCabe was telling the full story, only time will tell. Here's the language from Isikoff, as quoted in a recent court filing aimed at getting the FBI to disclose any information in its possession relating to the Seth Rich, of which, if Isikoff is to be believed, there must be some. In August of 2019, Michael Isikoff of Yahoo News published the 5th episode of Conspiracy Land, a podcast series about the murder of Seth Rich, and in that episode he interviewed former Assistant U.S. Attorney Deborah Sines. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia had assigned Ms. Hines to investigate the murder of Mr. Rich, and a full copy of the interview can be found at tunein.com podcast news politics. In episode 5, Mr. Isikoff discussed a Fox News report that the FBI had copies of communications between Seth Rich and WikiLeaks. Isikoff says as soon as she heard the Fox News story, Sines reached out to the FBI. Sines says, Of course I did. Isikoff said, And what did they tell you? Sines, no. Isikoff, no. Sines, no connection between Seth and WikiLeaks, and there was no evidence on his work computer of him downloading and disseminating things from the DNC. Isikoff, as it turned out, there was one sliver of truth in the Fox story. The FBI had been examining Seth Rich's computer, not for any ties to the DNC emails or WikiLeaks, but because they saw unusual activity by a foreign hacker after his death. Sines, there were allegations that someone, maybe more than one person, was trying to invade Seth's Gmail account and set up a separate account after Seth was murdered, and the FBI was looking into that. I presume they were trying to create a fake Gmail account or get into Seth's Gmail account so that they could dump false information in there. Isikoff, so just to be clear, the FBI had only investigated an attempt to hack into Seth Rich's email when they saw activity after he died. When we contacted the Bureau's Washington field office, a spokesperson said it had never opened an investigation into the DNC staffer death, pointing out that the FBI had no jurisdiction over local crimes. Andrew McCabe, the Bureau's acting director at the time, told us something else. He had personally reached out to his agents when he heard the Seth Rich conspiracy stories and was informed there was nothing to them. There was no there. McCabe said he was told. The FBI continues to claim they have no documents relating to Seth Rich, so how is it that Isikoff claims that multiple sources told him the FBI was involved? Seems pretty clear someone isn't telling the truth. Is it the FBI? Or is it Michael Isikoff? Or is it both? Thank you for listening.